The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye.
This sounds like music for people who have pearls on their eyeglasses.
Somebody left the room.
It's awfully drafty in here.
Somebody's got something to show us.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo
Hold
of
on,
your
I need to get
last
my Ovaltine.
goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die.
Has anybody seen the keys to my
I
Buick?
get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is
I haven't been kissed since JFK was president.
the place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. But the shadows are
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivelone. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Haunt Hour. I'm one of the three hosts, Dan Haunt Guy Doble. I'm joined with Susie Q and Troy.
I don't know where he is.
Haunt Icon Crivelone.
Where'd he go?
Whoa. Sorry, I was out getting gas
Uh-huh.
at the Walmart parking lot. It's okay if you steal gas if you use the gas in the vehicle at the time to go get haunt stuff, right?
Sure.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
If anybody contacts me from the Portland Police Department, I promise you I won't tell them it's you.
Mm-mm.
I'm sort of the least of their worries.
Yeah, if you're just stealing gas from a car in a parking lot, I'm sure they'll look right past that at this point.
I'm sure.
I saw a little tidbit about Portland. That somebody on Twitter, the pillar of truth, said that now that they're going to install more red light cameras, that the criminals won't do as many drive-bys. And I said, and they also said because of gas prices. And I said, last time I checked, criminals don't use their money to buy gas, so they don't really care what the price is.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, yes, there are plenty of gas stations out there that have cheap gas. You just, Walmart parking lots, Kroger parking lots, just stay away from the police station parking lots. It's probably not a good idea.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Gas, I'm assuming, and we're pushing ourselves on this non-Halloween haunt topic that old people talk about, and that's gas.
Listen, wait. So I knew you were circling around at me, but wait a second.
Do you remember the gas shortage of 1978 when we had to stand in line to get gas?
Obviously, neither of you saw my latest Facebook post.
No.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I saw something about Monday nights and eating and going to bed. I don't know. It was something about
Jeopardy.
And somebody said goodnight to you. I don't know.
Right. Watching Jeopardy and getting in my what was it? My Buick? No.
The Buick, yeah.
Was it my Buick? Yeah.
Your Buick LeSabre.
For people? No, that's a little too fancy.
Park Ave.
That's it.
Park Ave.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think for people who are lost, I'm being made fun of because I have a bifocal holder that is pearls, which
so
automatically makes me old.
Number one, they're bifocals. Okay. Old hit number one. Old hit number two, they're pearls. Old hit number three, you stole them off a dead lady out of her coffin, which is Halloween, so that's fine. And number three, you need four. That's four.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So and G, you need them because you will forget where you put the glasses. So you're
right. That's exactly why. And also,
you're old.
I have a heating pad on my neck currently, so I'm not doing much for my case.
That's okay. We still love you, Susie. Some people might not, but we do.
Pretty beat up. Stop.
It just shows how inclusive this show is.
Oh man, I am not everybody's cup of tea. I will say,
I will agree.
You can be the ripest, juiciest peach, and there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like peaches.
That sounds moist.
It does. You use the peach analogy.
Super moist. Juiciest.
I love that saying, and you're perverting it.
Plant.
Why is it perverted?
Like you said juiciest peach. How am I not supposed to take that?
I don't know.
Don't you know that? Hey, speaking of, do you guys know what upside down pineapple means?
No.
Upside down.
I know what eggplant
pineapple?
means.
You mean like the emoji, or do you mean
like if you go into somebody's house and there's an upside down pineapple?
Wait.
Oh, it means they're swingers. It means they're swingers. Yeah. Dan.
Is that real?
Dan, it's a real thing.
Why do you have an upside down pineapple behind you in your prepper kit? Don't look. Don't look. He's prepping for something tonight. I'll tell you that.
Prepping for something. No, I found this out. I was in Kentucky and we were talking about weird things. The topic came up with 10 other adult males and females.
Swingers,
And
yeah.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. I had no idea.
I didn't know that
Also-
either, but a pineapple actually is like a sign of welcome because when I had my
It is.
housewarming
Yeah.
at our house, somebody brought me like a
Mhm.
really nice pineapple. Ooh, did she hand it to me upside down? Maybe she was
Oh,
trying to tell me
see?
something.
I
Welcome
don't
to
know,
the
but if you
neighborhood.
walk into somebody's house and there's an upside down pineapple, that means they're swingers and they're looking for a. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. I did the same.
Yeah.
I had the same look you had on.
But wait, you know what I want to do? I want to go to the dollar store this summer and buy every pineapple I can find and just randomly put them upside down on people's
Yes.
front porches.
There you
Yes.
go. There you go. Yeah.
You
yeah.
will.
Also,
I had
if
no
you
idea.
go into the house and you see a bowl by the door and it says "Place keys here," that's also a swinger party.
Huh?
It's a key party. Susie, have you not been to a key party yet?
I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys do some weird ass shit in Portland. I'm telling you.
I'm
right now.
telling you. I don't know how they're going to take to you in Texas. Honestly,
Yeah.
they might
I
think
don't know. You're gonna get shot, dude.
they don't have key parties there. They got branding parties where they bring the
you
brand.
get your ass branded. Yeah.
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to some hunt shit because I feel this going south really quickly.
We've lost all of our viewers. So
It went
I'm
south.
sure.
It's always
We're
south.
talking about swingers and old lady glasses and anyway, Halloween shit. What's going on?
It's actually going to be my character at Transworld for the costume ball.
What's that?
I'm going to be an old lady swinger.
Swinger.
I'm going to be swinger Fleesick. That's going to be the name of my
Yes.
character.
Definitely.
SF. Yes. Sounds fantastic. So any news this month or this week? Anything exciting happening? I don't really have anything since last weekend. I haven't really done much digging, but
I actually have one that's more of a it's not so much a shameless plug. My friend Tristan and his I think they're friends. Terrence do a horror and Halloween pod. It's more horror podcast. But it is called Fearful Thoughts, and they do
fun.
Basically an episode each. It looks like it's once every once a month or something like that, maybe once a week. It looks like sometimes too. But it's mainly off of serial killers and horror villains and horror stories like that. So it's it's them basically just talking about stuff like that. They did have an interview with David Howard Thornton from what's the name of the freaking movie? Terrifier. Terrifier.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, they do a pretty cool little podcast about anything horror related that they want to come up with. So some of these things I've never even heard of, like this Popalik monster. But just kind of more information about it, and if maybe if there's a haunter out there who's maybe thinking about doing something on one of these type of monsters or villains, they can maybe learn something off of it, and maybe you want to do shadow people or something like that. Maybe a haunt wants to do a bunch of shadows and stuff like that. They might be able to get some ideas off of that. So
that's cool. What's it called? What's the name?
It's called Fearful Thoughts.
Cool.
So they need some more subscribers. They only have 21. I'm one of them. So they just started. They started last year. Looks like last year. And they're out of northern eastern Washington and somewhere bumfuck Washington. That's what I call their town. I don't know where it is actually, but
Washington. That's fantastic.
Yeah. But they also run a haunted house up there too, a charity haunted house
cool.
up there too. So, but yeah. So I was listening to it the other night when they did serial killers because I was trying to. I always need to make sure my wife doesn't listen to those type of things and she doesn't watch true
crime.
Get
any ideas?
So yeah. So I always have to pre-watch those things so I know that if she's going to listen to it, what kind of ideas she's getting. So it has helped. I'm still alive, so we're good.
Look at
For
that.
now.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah.
So
Troy's got a lot of haters, including his wife.
That's an understatement. And I think trying to think of any other news.
What's the news front on the terror tours? Any news for us on that?
Well, no, not yet. I can't. I'm just gonna talk in my. Did you get all that?
Yeah.
That's where that. Yeah. We are doing. We are expanding. I'm not gonna tell where yet because that's part of the big fun reveal. But But we are doing the normal one we've been doing in the Northwest. That will be in Seattle this year, the 30th and the 1st, 30th of September and the 1st of October. And it'll be 4 haunts again. 2 of them we've never done. One of them was on the first tour we did, and the 4th one is a fan favorite. So that's all ready to go. We're just dotting I's and crossing T's on all the contracts and all that kind of stuff. And the second tour that we are going to be doing outside of the Northwest, that's the only hint I'm giving.
Ooh,
it'll
you're
be
going to Texas. You're going to Texas because you're going to look for a place to live.
Somebody's figuring it out.
No, I already went to Texas last July and saw.
I didn't know you were moving then. Now
no, that is true.
I don't know. That sounds awful close.
But we've tried in the past. We've tried Nebraska. That didn't work out very well, and we tried Missouri. That didn't work out very well either, because a lot of people don't really understand, and I know most of our viewers would understand the fun part about being on a bus with a bunch of your friends going to a haunted house. We all do it for conventions, and so why not do it in October when all the haunts are open, and you get to see their full October show. And so the residents of Missouri and Nebraska were kind of like, we actually had a couple people message us when we were trying to do Missouri. We were going to do Factory, Dead Factory and stuff. Brian Foreman runs that one. And we were going to go to a couple of those. And we actually had people message us and say, I can go to those haunts and drive myself and pay less.
Oh my gosh. That's
and I'm like,
fun.
And we were in a college, and that's like Mexico, Missouri has a really big college town. There's a huge, I think it might be University of Missouri's down there. And it's a huge college town. We were like, man, we're going to do college radio spots and we're going to get these college kids to come out. And they were like, no, we can just go by ourselves. And, the haunts weren't very expensive. So that doesn't help either. When you shove $100 price tag at somebody, they're like, oh, I could drive. I mean, the haunts are only 10, 15 minutes apart in that part of Missouri that we were going to go to. And so you can't convince somebody until they go on the tour. And that's what happened with the Northwest one, is we had people that were just general public, and then they told their friends. They're like, this was really fun on the bus. So they paid more, but they got fun.
A better experience. But wait, with gas prices, it's going to be worth it this year.
Oh, absolutely. That'll be, I don't want them to continue. I want them to go back to $2.50 a gallon, but at the same time, it is a marketing point that we can use.
Yeah.
I don't want to use it, but I will, because I'm not against low blows. But
I'm using it. I'm going to use it for like my stuff, not for the haunt especially, but like for axe throwing and like escape room for the weekends. That's going to be one of the things I say is like, why drive out of town when you can have fun in town?
Right.
I mean, it's legit. It's not a low blow. I don't think.
No, you're giving people you're giving people an idea.
Overcoming objectives.
Yeah.
That
Overcoming
I am.
objectives.
Yeah.
That I am.
Haunters are creative. I mean, we build shit out of nothing, or out of pallets.
Speaking of creative, what do we got on the docket today? I think we got Mr. Johnny Bronto from Haunt Scene today on our show tonight. Is that correct? Am I right?
We do. And I got this really cool shirt from them. It says "Talk less and haunt more."
Wearing that? Wait,
I know,
what?
right? It's only because I couldn't find my Haunt Icon T-shirt that he gave me. Which is a funny story unto itself that we'll ask him about. But yeah, talk less. I don't know how I got this shirt, because
I don't either.
I don't. I haunt more, but
Yeah, you don't haunt more than you talk, though, do you? I don't know.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Halloween all year round at our house, so I mean, I guess you could say
I don't know.
I haunt all the time too, but
you talk and haunt at the same time, though.
There's no
you
way.
can do both.
Yeah, can you though?
I can do anything.
Anyway,
but Johnny can do more.
Yeah.
Johnny Bronto. Hello, friend.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, everyone. Nice shirt, Troy.
I have a thing this year that and I started it last week, and I didn't get to say it because it was going to be funny. When Alan said that I was going to work for him, I went off screen and changed into a Dark Hour shirt, and I was going to say, thanks, Jake Farmer, for sending me a shirt so quickly. But we couldn't work it in. So, but no, I'm just going to be pandering to all the guests this year. And so I'm going to be wearing something or doing something that's related to who's ever on the show. Hopefully some of them I might not be able to.
This shirt was from Alan a long time ago. If you look in it, like, can you see that? There's a little skull.
I can't
in
see
the black.
No.
The
I like how he
blacklist
wears
is
that on the episode. That's for
Hang on.
Johnny.
Let me put my
That's-
glasses on. Maybe I can- Oh, I still can't.
That's funny.
You see it?
Yeah, no, I can't.
Oh
You see it,
yeah.
Drew?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. There it
There's
is.
like little skulls in
Yeah,
the black.
okay, now I see.
Anyway.
Damn,
enough about
okay.
Let's talk to Johnny, who's here instead
Yeah.
of Alan.
Hey.
Alan's not here. Hi, Johnny.
Hello,
Hey,
friends.
Johnny.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh,
We're doing all right.
fabulous.
What's the word? What's going on? How's Haunt Scene?
Uh,
What's up with Haunt Scene?
Haunt Scene. Right now we are ramping up for our 8th season, which is going to.
I'm sorry, how many?
Whoa.
8.
8th season.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not
Holy
see that.
shnikes.
I know
Nice.
it's pretty crazy.
You
8
old man, you.
seasons. I know I'm a little long in the tooth for what I do, but April 5th will actually be, I think, the first episode. We're gonna do a warm-up episode the week before to make sure everything still works from the last season.
Yep.
But yeah, we're excited about getting up and running. Show's gonna change a little bit this year, but it's been a nice break since last haunt season, and I pushed the start date back a little bit, but really excited about getting back on the air.
So for those of you that don't know Haunt Scene, what does Haunt Scene do? Like what is your
That's
what is
season one.
your pitch? Like why would people tune in to see Haunt Scene?
So, Haunt Scene, we are a travel show for haunted attractions and other spooky
Oh my
shit. So
God, how old is that?
that is
season
season.
he
I don't
said.
even know how you got that. I thought you had that turned off.
No,
Yeah.
it's on your YouTube. I
Is
find
it?
everything.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
that's
like
like-
that's my original co-host and everything, man. That's
That's
Yep.
what I'm
way
saying.
back in
That's
the day.
like pulling up my original
Look at-
logo.
Is
Like,
that
why do you
is
do
it
that?
like a
shit?
soul
Don't do
patch
that.
there?
Yeah,
It is a soul patch.
Oh
Fuck
man,
yeah, dude.
God, this show.
Man.
I mean, obviously, you got to take baby steps before you get somewhere else. But man, this was
course.
this was me just figuring things out as we went. And this is my first co-host, Courtney Peters, who quit after the first season. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
This is old. What are you
it's
like?
way old.
How old are you? Like 40 there?
Oh my god. Troy, leave it to Troy to pull up this old shit and leave it to
Yeah.
Dan to throw
Right?
out.
Well,
the-
it's
That is
I'm
not
fine.
that is not representative of the show these days.
Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
let's fast forward a decade.
Yep.
What does Haunt Scene show everybody now? Like what is Haunt Scene about? What benefits
that one's
hunters
still
from
old.
Haunt
That's
Scene?
season 4. Come on.
I know. We're going up in years.
Oh,
Just
you're
keep
showing the
talking. Just keep
evolution.
He's
talking.
doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
Keep
Gotcha.
talking. Keep talking. We got you.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
What is Haunt Scene about now? If you're a haunted house owner / enthusiast / haunter, what would be the reason for checking out Haunt Scene? Like what do you do? Like
So
what's
we're
your
more on the
what's your
promotional
spec?
side of things. We like to. It's kind of like diners and dives or whatever. It's like we
Yep.
want to go out and discover new things because one of the biggest barriers for the haunt industry is just flat out people not knowing that these things exist. So that's what we do. We create awareness that these haunts are out there, though, so you can go experience them. And we're not reviewers. We just go. We go into everything, wanting to have a good time. We travel all over the U.S. We're trying to do one haunt in every state, and everything we do is to promote not only the haunt industry but everything that goes along with that. So we've got friends that make masks and costumes and everything that goes into the haunt industry. We just want to bring people together and promote that as much as we can. So
It's great.
that's not where we started, but that's what we've kind of grown into, and that's
Yeah,
our
evolved.
niche in the haunt industry. Yeah,
As some people say, evolution.
yeah,
or
definitely
Gorvolution.
evolved.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So you I'm just gonna touch on this because I love what you do, and I'm very excited to see you still going on doing what you do. And I
Thanks.
just love the whole Haunt Scene that you do.
Thanks.
So with that
Appreciate
being
that.
said, what drives you to keep doing it? Like what makes you get up and get excited about Haunt Scene every season? Because I've been doing this a long time. Troy's been doing this a long time, not as much as myself, but sometimes there's days where I'm like, dude, I just don't even want to haunt right now. I don't even want to look at Halloween. Orange makes me puke, like, and that's me. But how do you stay focused? I mean, because production on this side of this, and what you do is 10 times more than what we do. How do you stay excited about haunt scene?
So I'm gonna split this answer into two. One
Okay.
side of it is just sheer spite, right? One of the things based on like an old show that I was a part of that I'm not going to mention, and after my first co-host quit, that's what put that chip on my shoulder. I'm like, we're doing this. And if you actually go into the intro for Haunt Scene, it says "In spite of productions."
I noticed that.
That's what we are driven
oh,
by a little bit of that.
This is my kind of guy.
Personally, because I want to make this better and better because I've built this from the ground up. And the other half is what keeps me interested, new stuff. You know, like I love Florida. I love the haunts here. We do all of them every year, and it's amazing and all that stuff. But discovering new things, meeting new people, connecting with people, networking with people, schmoozing, that is what keeps me going because I can't stay still. Like I've even told my crew this. The moment that haunt scene stops growing and stops evolving, I'm done. Like it's like a shark swimming. Like if they stop swimming, they die. I guess maybe. But like that's the kind of thing. If you don't keep moving, what's the point?
Look that up.
Yeah,
That's
somebody
true.
Google that.
Look it up.
I heard
Come
that
on,
somewhere.
Troy.
What am I doing?
If a shark stops swimming, it dies.
Do they die?
There you go.
I heard that somewhere, so we're gonna go with that.
We're gonna go with it. Hey, we're gonna learn something tonight.
I love
Yep.
it.
Let's see.
So
Myth
speaking
number
of
one.
learning,
It says it's a myth. Do you have to swim to avoid
man.
sinking to the bottom?
Okay, that's still appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's still a good
yeah.
mantra.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we could also say like, as soon as you stop like eating, you die. So like that's appropriate,
Right.
right? I mean, the shark thing is really fucking cool. Just saying.
I would just go with it.
I actually like that better because
Yeah.
one of my biggest fears is backsliding to mediocrity. And I will not let that happen. Like
Like me?
I have willed this show into existence, and I will will it forward with
Attaboy.
my awesome crew because I got a really good team now.
That's
That's awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have probably one of the coolest backdrops I've seen in a show.
Thank
Everything
you.
production-wise is pretty badass with Haunt
Yeah.
Scene. I can't keep
Yeah.
up with it.
Well, so I'll give you the honest way that worked out was I had to supplement lack of talent with spending money. Like I'm not graphically inclined. I can't make graphics. I'm not that kind of person, but I have good stuff. I've got a solid camera and I've gotten to the point where the return on investment really isn't there anymore. But here from a personal note, the way I feel about the haunts and the haunt industry and my guests and you and everybody is I feel like they deserve the best that I can give. So we want to make people look good. So that's why we put a lot of effort and time and money into the show. I mean, I'm sitting in my lanai at my house. This is like a Florida room. It's a screened in or windowed in porch. I remodeled this whole room as a studio just to have this dedicated space for my show. So, yeah, I
have a dedicated space for my show.
Oh,
too.
here we go.
Are you in your bunker?
Yes,
Yes.
I am.
That's what Alan asked last week, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at Melissa in the scare cam. Oh, this is like my favorite video. This guy Didi's so funny, man. He just loses his shit in the haunt, man. It's so
So do
good.
you do this anymore? Do you do any more of these like walkthrough cam things?
I do when we can. One of the
Sure.
things that I've discovered is I have like a drone, a 360 camera, a GoPro. I've got a night vision. I've got the scare cam rig. I got my phones, plural, and I find that the more gear I bring with me, the less I use. So I've started to kind of limit that a little bit. But usually with this, because we're such good friends with Sir Hernie's Haunted Trail in Plant City, Florida, plug. They let us basically do what we want. And these videos promote the haunt. So and they're funny and that's good stuff. And everybody loves good scare cam stuff. So
Yeah.
And this is purposefully a little bit lower quality. Like I could break out my super awesome camera and be at 4K and whatever, but there's something that's just a little bit raw about when it looks kind of crappy like this.
Yep.
But I love it. I don't know if you're playing the audio, but man, this guy is so funny.
No, I'm not.
Okay. But yeah, and like I said, I just love making everybody around me look good. It's not about us, and I've had to tell people that are part of Haunt Scene, I'm like, what we do is not about us. It's about them, you know, and that's really helped us define what we do and who we are.
I love that.
Thanks.
And I have hung out with Johnny outside of his show and stuff. I mean, I've hung out with him in Florida. What twice now? Yeah. And I can attest to the camera. Luggage. It's not like a bag. It's like luggage. I mean, he's ready at a moment's notice with a camera. Like we were gonna take a group photo at an escape room we did, and it was like Johnny's here, just ready.
Yep.
So if you're ever somewhere where you want to take a group picture and Johnny's there, make sure he gets it because it will be the best quality that you can get.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So you are you said you want to or you have done at least one haunt in every state.
We're working on that.
That's your goal?
I think we've done 87 different locations in 19 states.
Wow.
Awesome.
And it's some people look at haunts differently. Like some people look if you go and do a location and it's got 5 different trails or paths or houses that counts as 5. We count that as 1.
Yeah.
And so these are completely separate. Every time we park our car, that counts as a separate location. And even though we go to these things year over year, especially in Florida, they still count as 1. It's everything new that we've discovered that we can share with our audience.
What's the furthest you've gone? Like, what is the furthest haunt from where your location is that you've gone to, that you've traveled to?
For me, it would be the Northeast, probably like New Hampshire up there. Melissa, my co-host, Melissa Lukac, who's amazing, she's actually been to Japan and California.
Wow.
And she went to Halloween Horror Nights in Japan, and she's been to like Knott's Berry and Halloween Horror Nights in California. I haven't quite gotten that far yet. That's that was our road trip from last year. That was amazing.
And so you drive all the way from Florida up to these places?
Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit beyond the driving range.
Right.
So I think we're thinking about going back up to the Northeast to wrap that up this year. If not, we'll do like the middle of the U.S., like Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland. But we're trying to string about 3 or 4 states together when we can.
Right.
But we're starting to kind of get outside of driving range, and we're gonna have to start flying to all these places.
Right.
That gets expensive.
It is. Nobody can ever accuse me of lack of integrity because I've spent thousands of dollars getting to these places because this is what I love, you know.
Right.
Yep.
And for me, it's well worth it. And this is something I budget for and I plan on all year. And it's the haunt season's the best season, and it's just can't wait to get to the next one.
So then would you say that when you do an episode like this where you're talking about, where you went, do you see these as more reviews or just talking about the highlights? Are you honest about pros and cons and things like that, or are you just more flat, this is our experience?
We try to keep things positive.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean that we suck up, but everywhere we go, we're looking to have a good time, and a haunt really has to do something bad for that to happen.
Yeah.
And our opinion is we try not to focus on the negative. Every once in a while I might have to give a little bit of constructive criticism, but the way that I work with haunts, even behind the scenes, is if I have general real feedback, I will give that to the owner. Like I will say while I'm there. So and there are a couple things And we haven't always had a good time at every haunt because not every haunt is amazing.
Right.
And if you ever see us promote that we're going to be at a haunt and we never talk about it again,
Oh shit.
you know something bad happened.
Oh no.
And it's happened a couple times where
Yeah.
we actually go back and take those posts down. Like we were never there.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
that guy that's trolling haunts, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's hard for me to spin something that I couldn't get behind because I want people to go to these haunts and have a good time, you know?
Right.
Yep.
Now the other thing is if I ever go to a haunt and I don't talk to the owner afterwards, if I can, that might also be like a uh-oh, you know, like sometimes we've had to duck out, like we don't know what to say to this person.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. We just
When
don't want to
you-
be negative. There's a lot of negativity in the industry and the way people look at these things. We want to be the good guys. We want to help out the haunts in a positive way.
Yeah, that's what I've done whenever I've gone. Like when I went to Chicago, I went to New England, and toured a lot of these haunts, especially with a bunch of other haunters. Was that we had told people in our group, leave a review on their site. Obviously, spin it positive.
Right.
If there's something constructive, that's fine. Don't lie, but also don't sit there and say, well, this one thing was bad. You can find a bad thing in every haunted house.
Yeah.
Even the
Yeah.
most amazing haunted houses, you can find a bad thing.
And you can find a good thing in every haunted house. Sure.
Absolutely.
But
I always-
there's also another level to that though, because sometimes there is potential.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go to a haunt, maybe it's opening night, maybe they're not fully staffed, but you
Absolutely.
can kind of, when you do a lot of these haunts, you know what it's supposed to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Right.
to me, I kind of feel that when I get to these haunts. Now, if I ever go back and it's consistently the same, then that might be an issue. But I want to look beyond that a little bit and say, yeah, maybe there was an off night. Maybe a bunch of people called off, or maybe they weren't fully staffed, or maybe this animatronic wasn't working, or this effect didn't work, or whatever. I will give them the benefit of the doubt.
I always look at the shows as like art installations. You're going to this show, and not everybody's take on a haunted house is going to be the same. In fact, nobody's take is going to be exactly the
Right.
same.
Right.
You're going to have your industrial, industry shows that are
Yeah.
straight from Transworld show floor, and then you're going to have some that don't even go to that show, and they build their own stuff and they make their own stuff. So every show has got its own different budget.
Yep.
Forethought, artistic design, like they're all different, and I love every single one of them. I don't think I've ever been to a show that I'm like, oh my god, I hate this show, because
Right.
they're all different, and everybody's always proud of their show.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. I love it so much, and I go to so many of them that there's never a bad one because it's always fun. It's
And
always
I think the saying, you can be the ripest, juiciest peach would apply right now.
yes.
I can't
How did
believe-
that
Some
saying
people-
go, Susie?
Some people don't like my peach.
Well,
What am I going to do?
I can't believe nobody's made a pearl necklace joke yet.
Yeah,
No.
I'm just
Right.
saying.
we, Johnny, we haven't lowered ourselves to that yet, but I'm sure
Thank you
it's.
for
I just
thank
did.
you for going
It
there.
just happened.
I'm sure we'll fish it out of the clam sometime.
Oh, stop! I'm done.
Peach.
I'm leaving.
Peaches.
Oh man.
Plenty of
Wow.
peaches. Peaches
No,
for
let's
me.
get back to this though. As a haunt owner, let me say that if I knew there was a reviewer coming and they were announcing that they were coming and that I didn't hear from them again, I'd cry so.
Right?
I
would
don't
just
think I've ever
cry.
done that
We-
as somebody coming to an event. I always try and talk to the person before we go through,
Yeah.
just so that
Well,
you know.
that can also work against a little bit. So you got to kind of fill out every kind of haunt by
Mhm.
itself. Because I've been to some haunts where it's like you're hanging out backstage and seeing all the makeup and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and this is amazing. This is going to be the best night ever. And then,
Oh,
wah, wah.
you're let down.
But
Yeah.
we one of the things that we do not do is we don't put one haunt over another. Like every when I'm on a show, people will ask me, "What's your favorite haunt?" And it's just I can give you 10,
Right.
Like it's hard for me. That's why we scrub the word review from what we do, because we want to push the industry, whether it be a mid-level haunt, one of those like big money haunts or something like that, or whatever. We just want to give everybody make more
Props.
awareness for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Build awareness.
Yeah, you're highlighting what's out there in the industry, and that's we have enough reviews, we have enough review sites, and we've got enough of, don't ever, and I know probably Susie knows this, don't ever look on your Facebook reviews or your Google
Mine are
reviews.
down. We took ours down.
Oh,
off
okay.
Facebook.
Because it's either there are plenty of haunts that do this and it's wrong, and they will send out their own employees to put their own reviews on there, and you can plainly tell because if you click on the person's name, it says, "I work at this and this haunt."
There you go.
Why did you just review it?
Or they will mention the other haunt in your review. Don't go to this place. Go to this place. It's so much better. And you're like, oh my gosh, are you that stupid?
We have enough review sites. One of my favorites, and it's not everybody's favorite, but I do like the scare factor. I do like the fact that the way that they present their reviews is much more in a positive spin. They may say this wasn't that great or this wasn't that great, but it's presented in a constructive way, not in a this was crappy, this was crappy. It's more of a, hey, just letting you know this is what you're gonna sort of expect. We've actually made plans based on their reviews and on their website, being that hey, this site, this has this and this and this, and you can expect this is the running time. As a tour operator myself, I've had to look at running times. But I have actually looked at Johnny's videos before when I've looked at different haunts to go to, and it's very well presented.
Thank you.
All of the photos are amazing too.
All my PowerPoints.
God, everything looks great.
PowerPoints.
It's literally a PowerPoint. I cheat. I put all that stuff in PowerPoint because it formats it, and I export it as images, put it in a slideshow for my show. So here's the thing. I used to have a really big issue with people calling us a podcast, because back in the day, podcast was like audio only. And I'm like, no, this is what makes us different, is I want to show you all this stuff, because haunt and horror is a mainly visual medium, right? But the word podcast is kind of, it's more of a blanket term now.
Yeah, it is.
But so I don't really have much of an issue with it, but that was like since day one. We do put out our shows as a podcast, but sometimes I realize I'm like, somebody listened to this and we're all talking about the images and stuff like that. It's like awkward.
Right.
So, because we just export our shows as like straight audio, you know. So, but it's another way that we can reach our audience, and people do like it. So it's just another way to get our stuff out there.
Yep, definitely. Speaking of getting your stuff out there, you do haunt scene, but you also have taught at some of these shows. The last one was how to get Instagram famous. Is that what it was? I don't remember what it was.
How to grow your haunt's presence on Instagram, which I taught. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you've got Susie's like, fuck this shit, I'm out of here.
Classes? Susie doesn't have time to learn about things.
Talk about classes.
She's got to go mix her Metamucil.
It's past her bedtime.
Oh my god, I gotta go. I swear I have it right beside me.
Your Metamucil?
I'm gonna grab it.
Now make sure you don't drink the cup with your dentures in it. You're not supposed to drink that liquid.
Anyway, Johnny, back to the scene here. You do speaking. You're a public speaker, and you've done some classes. Is that correct?
Yeah. My day job is I teach realtors. That's like my day job. So I teach them how to use the MLS, the real estate database here in Florida. And I've done that for about 10 years, and I've always had a natural kind of teaching host type vibe. But I've tried to get into teaching these classes for the haunt industry for a couple of reasons. One, it gives me another avenue to get in front of people. It gives me something to give back to the haunt industry, because they've given us a lot of awesome experiences. But looking at things from the outside in, I see a lot of opportunity and holes in the haunt industry that I want to help fix, because some haunts aren't great at social media. Like unfortunately, you said that, not me. But
I said it.
All right.
No, I said it right here. Most haunts are not great at it.
It's you can't just create an Instagram account and then post a couple pictures and expect people to come to you.
No,
That's not how it
no,
works. Like
it's a
there's
full-time job
method.
just to utilize social media. And as a haunt owner, I know haunters, home haunters and pro haunters, they all think they can touch everything and make it work. And
Right.
everybody has got a specialty, and they need to surround themselves with a great team. And enough about that situation, because we can go down a whole that. But social media is its own beast in itself, and
It is.
somebody like you who's really tapped into it, it makes sense that you would teach a class like that. So
Yeah, a lot of it's just like low hanging fruit.
mhm.
Clean up your feed, use the correct hashtags. And it's not hard. The problem with social media, I think, these days is people want to take shortcuts. It's all about the numbers. It's all about how many people
Likes.
you've got, likes and followers and all that stuff.
Yep.
And if you don't grow the correct way or organically, those numbers don't mean anything. Like
Yep.
there are haunt shows that have way more likes and followers or whatever than us, and that's fine. But don't take those shortcuts. Learn the platforms, learn how to do the stuff properly, and it's going to pay off for you in the future. I don't want
Yep.
10,000 people from some other country. I want, like, we're about to hit 6,500 likes on Instagram, and to me that's a huge accomplishment, man. Instagram's kind of a bitch to grow on.
Yeah.
That's the hardest platform, but Instagram is something that rewards originality. Like you can't just put a bunch of crap on there because people aren't going to care. You need to put good stuff up there. So
Is it true that hashtags are a big thing
they are
with
Yeah,
Instagram?
if you're not maxing out, like I say empty the clip when it comes to hashtags.
Like this whole post. Like
No, seriously, I heard that too.
Every post. Some people have different takes on this, but you are allowed 30 hashtags on Instagram. Use them all.
Max them out. Yep.
And we use I pay for a program that's called Flick, and it's a hashtag analytical tool, and it actually gives you suggested hashtags based on like how many people are using them and what your competition is and all that stuff. And don't look at that picture. I don't like that one. But
okay.
There we go. That's better. I'm very particular about this, and one of the things I've started to let go is I'm starting to let somebody help me with Instagram a little bit. One of my team members, and we're still getting on the same page. But yeah, empty the clip. Use all 30. Go nuts. Tag people. One of the coolest features on Instagram that people aren't using these days is the collaborator feature. If I go to a haunt and I go to post something, like this could be, us or Zoo Tampa or Fright Nights or whatever, I can invite them as a collaborator. And not only will the post show up on my feed, but it will also show up on their feed as well. So if you are a haunt and somebody invites you as a collaborator, say yes, because they're creating free content for you. Take advantage of that. Yep.
Let's see.
What's that one?
Well, because right here you had at my Fright Nights.
Yeah.
But they may not have. They
haven't done this one yet.
Okay.
I got to get on. Now, one thing I need to get a little bit better at is letting the haunts know, like, hey, I'm about to post this. I'm going to invite you as a collaborator. Just hit the button. Yes. Yeah. So
yeah, I would definitely. And with you teaching those things at these classes, it would be, and are you teaching something like this at Transworld?
I wanted to.
Okay.
I did pitch a class there, but I was told that something similar was already being taught, so it didn't work out. And because that's like my dream is I really want to teach something at Transworld.
Well, because, the reason I say is that, the other conventions that we all go to, there is a mix of attendees, where everybody knows at Transworld, it's a lot of haunted house owners and builders and their front office. That's where this information needs to get to. Yeah. You can have, home haunters kind of know about, Instagram and stuff like that, and some of the smaller haunts might know about it and stuff like that, and have maybe somebody who's doing it on the side, where a pro haunt could definitely benefit from understanding why you need somebody, like Dan said, full time,
right,
doing all your social media,
So why do you have to go to a show? It's social media.
True.
Why not post something as far as classes?
Yeah.
Well, do you not think
straight
that we
out of
should
Johnny Bronto? Skip that middleman. Let's make that money, yo.
I totally agree 100%.
Yeah. So
do a Patreon thing where they get a pay?
We do have a Patreon,
Right.
and that's kind of where I feel like if we're gonna ever make money off of this, because I don't do Haunt Scene for a profit. I mean, we're
Right.
I operate at a huge loss to do this, but I love it, right? But we do have bills though, like we have like website hosting and podcast hosting and all that stuff, and that stuff comes out of my pocket, right? It would be nice to offset that a little bit with the costs. However, I don't like taking money from haunts. I just don't. Like, I've always had a big issue with that. Like, I just can't do it. So a Patreon or something like that, or some conventions have flown me out, or not flown me out, but like paid for my hotel room to do stuff. That's the kind of stuff I don't really have a problem with, because it's not really, it's kind of a give type
It's
thing.
indirect.
Yeah. But I would love, and I've taught for like Haunters Hangout and a couple things, and like Fear Expo and a couple other places. I just want to make sure that this information's out there, and I'm trying to create like a curriculum of stuff. Like I've got a general social media class, just like social media 101 for haunts. I've got my Instagram class. I've got how to start a webcast. Like if somebody wanted to do a show, a very basic version of that. One class that I'm working on right now is how to leverage technology to help your haunt, how to use those gears and gadgets and things to get you going. So I'd love to have another avenue of haunt scene growth that way. I want people to know who I am. I want people to know what haunt scene does, and us just going to a couple haunts out of state a year or traveling, we're gonna pick up a decent amount or whatever. But I want people in the haunt industry to want me at their haunt, to know that we provide value. That's really our goal long term.
Right. It's kind of like the people that go and travel and teach actors, and they do that type of thing. I mean, if I was a haunt owner, the last thing I want to worry about is my technology stuff. So I would absolutely look to you to come in and say, hey, this is what we can set up for you, with your social media person, not you because you're the owner, but, for you to be able to travel and to teach some of these haunts, or have it where it's okay, I'm going to be in this city on Saturday, at the Red Lion, convention center thing, and have 15, 20 haunts come to you.
Yeah.
On just a random Saturday, type of thing, to be able to give out that information, because, I mean, it is, social media itself is probably one of the biggest drivers for people to go to haunted houses, because most people are not going to go to the website anymore. They're not going to type in haunts in my area. They're going to see something fly by on their Instagram.
You know what they go to the website for? They go to the website to find out where it's at, to how to get there.
Or to buy tickets, tickets now. When they buy tickets online, but But literally, they're going to the ticket page. They're not seeing your front page.
No,
they're or they are for a couple of seconds, where they saw they got this from your Instagram or from your Facebook, and they clicked on it from there.
They have to know about you before they go.
But see,
so how are they going to find out about you?
There's even an issue with that though, because let's say I'm going to an area and I see a haunt pop up on my Instagram. Everybody has no attention span these days. If I can't very cleanly find your haunt's information, where it is and how to buy tickets,
you're not going.
I'm moving on to something else within like 30 seconds, because that's my frustration. And I've been to a couple haunt websites. It's like, where are you? Like where are you actually located?
Yeah.
Oh, take a look. That's our list right there. That's the haunts that we've been to all over the place.
That's one of my things that I say though. Like if it takes me too much time, I'm not doing it, and that's
but see, like right
my
here, like this
span isn't that long, and I
now granted, we all can tell who made this website, because it's very plainly obvious. Chad Savage, that
he
but work. It really does. It's fantastic stuff, But here, I mean, you have your banner up here, but right there, I mean, it's like almost the first thing you saw was where to buy tickets. Boom. This doesn't say exactly where they are right now, but you can pretty much figure that out. It's the location's right there.
Oh my God! Don't go to mine. I don't know what mine looks like right now. Don't go.
It's like a GeoCities page. It's an angel
fire. the mayor of my town. I live in a very small town. It's like, look, get tickets. Hey,
See, that's fine. That's great.
Woo!
Granted, it's 2022, but whatever.
I mean, we don't open till September.
Yeah, that's true.
Chill.
Nobody's looking at your site right now.
Calm
Nobody's
your
looking.
tits. It's fine. Okay, so listen, the mayor of my town, like we have 7,500 in my town, and the mayor of our town is like really well liked. Well, obviously, not everybody likes him, but very well liked. And
he's a peach.
He's the peach everybody wants to eat. I don't know. God. Anyway.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we've been open. Well, our axe throwing has been open. It'll be a year in May. And we had a black light event last month. He came to it with his family, took pictures. We've blown up. So it's like that kind of social media presence now. Like he put it out there for us. It would be like if you guys would come to our haunt and then you would promote us. Like once he came, I was like, oh my God. Well, he came when we were really busy. We had to turn him away because we didn't have any room. We were slammed that night. And we were like, can you come back in an hour? And I was like, oh my God, please come back in an hour. Because I knew what that meant for us, And he came and he brought his kids and they got their faces painted with the black light paint and the airbrush and everything. Took pictures, posted them on Facebook, like 100 some shares off of his post, which is a big deal in my small town. And like I said, we've been busy every weekend since then, and we've been open almost a year. It took that. So, I totally get what you're saying. Whenever people just need to know you're there.
So you just touched on a concept that I don't think a lot of haunts get. And this is a lesson that we learned a couple of years ago, is as much as this industry is awesome, there is a finite amount of people that are into haunts or into horror. But you know what? There is an infinite amount of people? Normies. When all of your marketing is targeted towards hardcore haunters and all that stuff, you will max out the amount of people and exposure. But the moment you open that up to normal people, that's where you're going to start seeing that growth. So you gotta diversify. You gotta make things idiot proof. You gotta make things easy for normal people to discover and come out.
Yeah, I don't want to see, I don't want to post a bunch of gory stuff all the time because that's not going to attract your regular person that's looking for something to do on the weekend in October. They're going to scroll right past it because that's not something that they want to see. And I think that I'm noticing this in a lot of my businesses where I'm like, okay, for right now, I'm opening a coffee shop. What do I like? Well, it's not just what I like, it's what other people like too. So I just realized the other day, oh shit, I'm making all these drinks that I would drink. I have to make things that I wouldn't necessarily drink. Right. So it's kind of like the same concept, like what you're saying about,
normies.
Yeah.
Yep. It's definitely.
Well, and I've always told, different people that I've been asked about, or, just different things that have come up over the last, several years, is that, like you said, don't make them work for it. If they work for it, they will leave. It's they want 1, 2, 3 clicks at max and done. If even that. And if you, making them work for it is the worst thing you could do. So having to click through 4 or 5 pages to get to the information,
oh my gosh,
is not, you will lose customers. And especially, if you can't go from the Facebook page to buying tickets in 1 or 2 clicks, or an Instagram to that, they're going to go somewhere else.
Well, another way that a lot of people make their social media experience difficult is having inconsistent social media. Your tag should be the same exact thing on everything.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. If you can't get a tag, if you can't get everything. And there's a website called namechecker.com where you can type in any tag and it will show it if it's taken on everything. So if you're a new haunt, you should start there to make sure you can get everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or .com, whatever. Because if you don't do that, if you're one of your tags is 618 or something like that, or you're trying to make it different, you're making it more difficult for people to find your stuff, because you don't care how people get to you, just have them get to you easily.
Right.
That's it.
I've noticed that with TikTok when I go and do a tag, and I immediately look at how many views are on that tag. If there's none on it, it's fine to start your own. Like if I did Scare Hollow, nobody else is tagging Scare Hollow. That's my haunt, But if I do Scare Hollow and then Halloween or haunted, home haunt, haunted house, those type of things, because then you are going to get all those people to come into that and see your tag as well, So yeah, it definitely, I've noticed that even the apps are pointing you to, hey, this one has none, this one has a bunch. Maybe you should use this one. So that can help, especially with TikTok. I don't know if Instagram does it, but I know that TikTok does, where it'll show a bunch of like ones.
What about OnlyFans? What does OnlyFans do?
OnlyFans is great. Do you have a granny's OnlyFans? Is it
Wow.
Yes.
My pearl necklace at OnlyFans?
What's that more, Elmo or Granny?
Elmo's pearl necklace at OnlyFans.
Oh my god, that is so. There's a fetish
yeah.
out there.
All right,
There is.
Johnny's already subscribed to that. He's checking his monthly thing to see if anything's popped up.
Name checkers without the E at the end. I'll put it in the chat.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's
all these little tools.
Let's switch gears a little bit. We're running out of time, so I wanted to pop in here. Last season we asked some people questions. I've got some questions here.
Oh,
nice.
Brought them back.
We brought them back. It was a lot of fun. So I went through the deck, and it's called Pod Decks.
Oh, cool.
It's really awesome. I don't know if you've heard of this, Johnny.
I have, and I've been thinking about picking that up because it's nice to have those.
Pick it up. There's a whole bunch of different ones, and they're a whole lot of fun. And I've taken them, and I take them, and I just make them haunt related. So, what are you doing, Troy?
I'm showing the name checkers. It's so we did Halloween. Oh,
yeah, it's all taken.
All taken. Weird.
Dang it!
Ruined
my whole day.
Jump on that back in 92.
All right, so we're gonna throw these out here. Do we all want to answer them like we did last time, or should we just have Johnny answer them?
Just have Johnny answer them.
Okay, then we can.
Because I'm afraid.
Oh my gosh, they're not that bad. They're not bad. All right, we'll start with a more generalistic one. What is your most unusual talent? We'll relate it to haunting.
Related to haunting, my talent is networking and connecting people. Yep, that's my number one thing, that I put people together in the right situations, and that's just something that always the plan comes together. Yes.
Awesome. All right, next one. Would you rather be the best haunter at the most horrible haunt, or at the worst haunt and be the best actor?
Oof. I would rather be the best actor at the lowest haunt, because you can always go up. Yep, and that you might be that person that grows that haunt when you're.
But wouldn't you want to be that? Wouldn't you want to challenge yourself and be at the best haunt and work your way up to being one of the best actors?
Well, if you're the worst actor at the biggest haunt, there is a possibility you might get lost in the shuffle, because there's so many other actors and that type of thing, and in which situation are you going to be better suited to stand out more? I would say that would be the lower haunt.
Fair enough.
Yep.
True.
Fair enough. I love this one because it's got like multiple reasons, multiple meanings. Who or where would you haunt if you were a ghost? Maybe a haunt scene ghost.
If I was a ghost, where would I want to haunt? I would want to haunt somewhere where normally ghosts aren't. Like, not a lot of ghosts in, like, funeral homes, because that's not where people die. So that would definitely throw a curveball at a lot of people. Where else would I want? I'd want to haunt, like, I would want to haunt, like, a theme park. A lot of people, a lot of different situations there. I think that would be awesome. Or just a haunted house in general, like an actual haunted attraction. That'd be cool. Yep, those would be my places.
I would definitely haunt a haunted attraction.
Yeah.
That's totally
I would mess with people.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We had so I'm gonna throw this out here. We had a buddy of mine and I had this idea for a pilot for a show, and it was kind of, I don't want to give too many details away, but it was kind of a haunted house that was actually an attraction was being made in, but then it was actually haunted. So the people that are working it are getting the shit scared out of them as they're trying to scare other people. You know, the mind, it was just mind blowing, and so that's like, oh my gosh, this is totally something I would do if I was dead and I was able to haunt somebody. Definitely. What is the weirdest thing you've seen at a haunted attraction? Weirdest.
I saw a guy fucking a chicken at the haunted
Like a
hoochie.
real chicken?
Oh, it's a hoochie? Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it may have been.
Stop it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's the hoochie for you.
It's a crime.
I was gonna say
Haunted hoochie
Pretty
is
sure.
one of those things where you probably only need to do it once. It's like the haunter's haunt.
yes.
Yep.
But it is highly recommended. It's like a rite of passage.
No.
It's
Absolutely.
No. I will never ever.
I'm sorry.
Right.
It's
Now,
wrong.
Susie,
I blocked
if you
that
go
from
to
my memory.
Midwest, well, no, Midwest isn't there anymore. So if you're ever in Ohio and you're near Columbus,
Yeah, I'm near
you
Columbus
need
right
to-
now.
Okay, well,
No.
you probably should
It's not
go.
worth it.
It was a maybe until he said that about the chicken.
I don't
No,
know if they
I
still
had-
do. I don't think they still do that.
I was pressed up against a wall by a mostly naked, really large man.
That's
It is
me
very-
every night. Oh my god.
No, like this man was like, ugh. Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
That is.
That's
But
horrible.
it's hoochie. But here's the thing. Look what they did by it.
I didn't
They
want
just
it.
had
though.
us talk about it
I
years
didn't
after
want
we
it.
saw it.
I didn't want it though. I did not want a large man pressed against me.
I mean, any man is a large man.
Anything
that
goes
can
in a
say it,
haunt,
but-
man.
That's
But
true.
Anyway, I blocked that from my memory, so I definitely am not of it. I'm looking for information and get attracting people. There you go.
So Johnny, should he maybe message you and get a little more direction of where he could look for some information and stuff like that?
I mean, I'm not like a build social media from scratch kind
Right.
of person. There are companies out there that actually will package that for you. But when you have stuff up and running, I can definitely go in and help with giving you some tips and tricks on what I think works and doesn't work. And a lot of it's easy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, that's a perfect segue for us to show all of your social media stuff where he can contact you and other
Oh my
people.
god, we
can
hit
contact you.
6,500! Yes! Sorry, Instagram is our #1 platform, and it's very dear to my heart.
That's
And every little milestone, that makes it worth it. Like, I've given up on Facebook. I just don't care about Facebook anymore, and I don't care about Twitter. But I love what we've done with our Instagram, and so I want to give a shout out to my team for
It
bringing that
definitely it's definitely interesting about how it does, how you click that little dot and you got the team on there, and you've got who's pictures of people on your team, and then you've got the one for haunts. You can scroll through that real quick. And Instagram, I haven't really touched a lot of Instagram yet. My wife does Instagram a lot. I don't.
I do.
It is.
I love it.
It is probably
Well-
something I need to spend some time on this summer. But you definitely have made quite the presence on here.
Thank you. Well, one thing that a lot of people forget is to focus on your team. I mean, to me, haunters are rock stars. Why not show yourself off?
Mhm.
Like,
True.
that's one of the things that a lot of people make a mistake with social media, especially reviewers, is they focus too much on the destination and not the journey.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be as known as these pictures right here. That's why we splice us in here as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
It's marketing for your team
that's,
too.
that's the ginger pear right there. Yep, that's me as an Instagram model. With
That's his
Leviathan.
model. Yeah.
Yep.
The one day is a model. Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Anyways,
stuff.
But
Other
you've got
than this-
you've got your
other than
website.
yeah, I was gonna say website.
Yeah,
got
we're
your website
we're
here.
Haunt on everything. So
Yep.
hauntscene.com, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're very bad with YouTube. I wish I could. I'm not a vlogger. As much as I wish I was a vlogger, I'm not. But yeah, Instagram's our #1 thing.
But YouTube's a great little thing for you to find something You know, like if I wanted to see a walkthrough of this, to be able to scroll through and just see, because people are kind of on YouTube on the side of everything they're doing. It's just kind of over there, and so it's always just there, where you want people to focus on your Instagram. This is where they can spend, a few minutes there, get the information they need right now. And then if they want to spend more time, they could go to the YouTube and watch the videos and stuff.
Yeah, you got to diversify a little bit because you never know how people are going to get to your content.
Right, and then you always put your, because like I see like right here, this was your your show on March 2nd, and you had it up here because obviously you use a streaming platform that pushes it to all of them, right?
Yeah, we use Restream. I just find that works best. I've gone back and forth with that a lot. But I totally think it's worth it because, like I said, I don't care how people get to my content. I just want them to get there.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I just wish it streamed to Instagram.
Right.
It doesn't.
Well, everybody go make sure you hit the little follow button. It's right there where it should say follow.
Please follow Haunt Scene on all the things.
Also, if you click right here, you can find the OnlyFans for Haunt.
That's what we call our Only Haunts.
Only Haunts, yeah, because you got your link tree here, and
and set up a link tree on your Instagram. That's like social media 101 because you only get one link on your profile. Have that spread out to other things.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
All these little tidbits of information.
I know, right?
Love it.
Good.
Little things. All of it's easy. It's just a lot of nuance with social media. A lot of low-hanging fruit that people don't take advantage of, like I said.
And your Restream does your little audio thing down there with your icon. Let's see if we can.
Like where I'm talking.
Yeah. So that thing.
What I'm actually doing right now is I've got OBS up, which is the streaming platform that I use to push out to Restream, and that's a plugin inside of OBS. I'm actually mirroring what my show looks like on this show. I'm using this as my webcam because I like to show off. This is what my show looks like if you watch it.
Marketing, man.
That's right.
Branding.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's very good. All right.
Well, I think we're done for tonight. Thank you, Johnny, for coming out. I appreciate you talking about Haunt Scene and everything that it has to offer. When's the first show?
Tuesday, April 5th will be our season 8 premiere.
Do you have a teaser? Do you have anything like? Are we talking to anybody special?
Do I have a guest lined up yet? I'm still kind of working on a couple things. Let me take a look.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Excuse me.
That's okay. That's okay. Let me find it.
Susie.
What? That's Dan. I know what he's doing. He's shuffling the freaking cards. I can't see him.
Whatever you call it in your house. Whatever you call it in your house, we call it fluffing the pillows, so whatever. I mean, if you
that will actually be Tan Poplin, who's she's a character. She's awesome.
16, and I met her at Fear Expo, and she's awesome.
You walked by my booth at least 5 times and didn't say hi, so that's cool. At least 5. And that was when I was looking. But no, we're gonna have Tan Poplin on from Backfire Studios, who's actually vending at Transworld for the first time. So that'll be really neat.
So we're gonna push this one right back on Johnny. When I was at HauntCon at my booth, Johnny walked by and he didn't even come over and say hi.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Dan.
I appreciate you. I'm always looking out for my teammates. Always.
Okay, well, hold on. I was very intimidated by that back in those days. Like you were I wanted to be you.
And
you can just say it.
And I'm just a washed up old guy with an orange T-shirt on now.
You were intimidated by the hair. We know.
You know what though? How do you know I don't want to be you? So let's just say that's why I didn't stop by your booth.
Fair enough. I'll buy that for $1.
I went to his home state to see him, so I physically went to where he lives.
This is true.
Oh, that's awesome. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said,
that's one thing. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't. People think I'm intimidating or anything like that. I'm a big teddy bear. Just come and say hi.
Oh yes, you are.
Yeah.
When I meet you, and I will meet you in person, Johnny, I won't even say hi. I'm going to just give you a big hug.
That's fine.
I hug teddy bears.
Yeah.
I hope I'm there. I want to see it.
Yeah. Well, you'll just keep walking, so I don't know.
Oh man! You know what's funny though? He knew who I was because of my height or lack of, I'm sure.
Right,
So,
you were
like,
the
I was looking
you,
down to tie my shoe and I saw Susie down there.
you were the tallest kid at Fear Expo.
They actually had to measure me to make sure I was old enough to
Yeah, to
enter
make,
the
make
door.
sure
Excuse me.
you met
Where is
the
your parents?
height
Where are your
requirement.
parents? 16 or older, please.
Mm.
Anyway, thank you, Johnny, for coming on tonight. It's
Thank
been
you
a
for
pleasure.
having me. I really appreciate that. Let's do it again.
Yep.
Yes, let's do it again. And then Troy, what do we got coming up next week? Anything?
Next week we have have my calendar up. We have Michael Peters from Chicagoland Haunters. He worked, I believe he works at Massacre or
Fun.
I think he does work at Massacre, but he runs his own home haunt, Nightmare Haunted House. And so that's what we're going to focus on. But yep, so we have our
Awesome.
our first home haunter on
Woohoo!
next Tuesday. So
Super excited.
Chicago representing.
Yeah. What up, Midwest?
Miss
What up, Midwest? All right, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Talk to you
Yeah.
later.